Get some more reaction now. I'm joined by the Shadow Justice Secretary of State for Justice, Robert Jenrick. Mr Jenrick, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon.
Can I please get your initial sort of visceral reaction to a story that has genuinely horrified the world?
I was absolutely furious and appalled when I heard this last night. I think this is totally disgraceful. The idea that Jewish football fans will be banned from going to a match in our second city is something which is just a new low for our country. It's completely out of order, and I want West Midlands Police to change their mind and for this to be reversed by the end of the day. And Keir Starmer and Shabana Mahmood, who have known about this for a week now, we're told, need to make sure that happens. If necessary, they should order the Chief Constable to do it. If he won't do it, he should be sacked.
Do you buy the story that this is a safety issue? I go to football matches, very, very often, and fans, more than this number of away fans, they simply get escorted in and out by police as a routine matter of fact. Why is this any different? Do you buy this story?
I don't. It sounds like complete garbage to me. Look, we're told by the club that there might be as few as 1,000 away fans who would be coming to watch this match. Maybe there'd be a few more than that, but you're not talking about big numbers. As if West Midlands Police, one of our country's biggest and most organised police forces, couldn't protect them. If they need more officers, draft them in with mutual aid from other forces around the country. Frankly, use the armed forces, do whatever is necessary to protect these people, because we go down a very dark route as a country if we start saying that Jewish fans, or fans, frankly, of any religion or ethnic group, cannot go to a match in one part of the country. That's completely outrageous.
Some people are saying perhaps the Chief of Police in the West Midlands has taken a position on this. Let's look at something he's said in the past.
Salam alaikum. Good morning, everyone, and thank you to the leaders and elders that have afforded me this opportunity to speak to you personally. The reason I'm speaking is to underline my commitment on behalf of the organisation to protect all the communities across the West Midlands. And in particular, I want to underline that message to your good selves and your congregations. And that's very, very acute to me, having seen some of the scenes that have played out elsewhere within the United Kingdom.
Robert Jenrick, that statement there was given out post-Southport. Policing without fear or favour is the central pillar of British democracy. Did that, to you, look like a chief of police policing without fear or favour?
No. It looks like a chief constable is putting community relations above policing without fear or favour. That's what we expect, isn't it? We want to be treated equally before the law, and we just want the police to get on and do their job. And part of their job is keeping everyone safe, including allowing a football match to go ahead. And for goodness sake, this is just a football match. I mean, I've been to Villa Park. I'm a Wolves fan. I grew up down the road in Wolverhampton. We used to go to away games there sometimes. Yeah, sometimes there are offensive chants.
It gets fruity.
Sometimes it gets rowdy. There's even times where I've seen it get violent. The police step in and do their job, make sure everybody is safe. You can't have a situation where bans are taking place. And let's be honest, this is a ban on one particular club whose fans are predominantly Jewish. So we all know what's going on here. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Robert Jenrick, the Labour Party spent this past week attacking you. You had the temerity to raise some points that Birmingham was a failure of integration. Do you think what's happened yesterday vindicates you?
Yes, I do. Look, I think Keir Starmer is a completely shameless coward. A week ago, he attacked me for saying that the very part of Birmingham, Handsworth and Aston, where Villa Park sits, is a failure of integration, where there are not people living side by side in well-integrated communities with a strong sense of national togetherness and British values. And then he pops up on the media today saying he's outraged that this is happening. He is not brave enough to actually call out what's really going on in some communities in our country and to take action. He doesn't care about the British Jewish community or about how to fix problems like extremism in our country. If he did, he would do something about it. Instead, he tries to shut down the debate when people like me and GBNews, frankly, the few people in this country who are willing to stand up and actually talk about it, put their head above the parapet.
Can I quickly ask you, do you think this is the taste of things to come? Do you think this could be the ugly kind of emergence of a sectarian politics in Britain?
Yes, I do. Look, the two local members of Parliament who are the sectarian Gaza independent members of Parliament, apparently organised a petition trying to get their local residents to campaign against Jewish fans going to Villa Park. And they pretend to be shocked now, or that they're just doing this for perfectly reasonable grounds. They're not. We all know what lies behind this. And my worry is that the next general election, more of these MPs are going to be elected. And what a crying shame that the House of Commons, the mother of parliaments, is being despoiled by these sectarian MPs. We've got to stand up and fight against it. And the way you do that is by tackling the chronic failures of integration in our country, not sweeping them under the carpet like Keir Starmer and his cronies have tried to do this week.
Robert Jenrick, a great start to the show. Thank you very much for joining me in the studio here in Westminster. And Sir Keir Starmer has intimated today, just to stress, he does want this decision reversing. He's got 3 ministers on the case. You said you'd like to see action by the end of the day. Robert Jenrick, let's wait and see. But thanks again for joining me today in the studio. Well, let's now speak with Andrew Fox, and he's the president of the Aston Villa Jewish Villains. Andrew, welcome to the show. I saw last night you were appalled by this, as was I. I immediately got in touch with you. I wanted you to come on as a voice of the Aston Villa Jewish fan base. Tell me how you're feeling about all of this.
Well, I'm sad for them. Obviously I'm not Jewish myself, but they were kind enough to make me their honorary president after the work against anti-Semitism that I've done. And really, if they can't keep Maccabi Tel Aviv fans safe, then how do my friends who walk around with an Aston Villa shirt and a Star of David themselves feel safe? Can West Midlands police protect people at football matches or not? And what I really want to see here is the intelligence behind this. Is there a credible threat? And if there is a credible threat, is it so bad that the police can't cope with it, which is a huge, huge thing? Or is it something that's being played up to try and help, the local MP, who is clearly anti-Israeli, to achieve his own slightly subversive, or indeed very subversive, political ends? So I think we deserve a lot more clarity now that this has become a national issue, and tell us exactly what the security threat is that led to this game having Maccabi Tel Aviv fans banned.
And Andrew Fox, my intel is telling me it's not just a problem perhaps with the local reactionary Muslim community, but I've heard that far left activists, Antifa, Stand Up to Racism, were also due to be shipped in from outside the area, creating the perfect storm. Do you believe that the police chief, Craig Guilford, has simply buckled like a cheap suit?
Well, it looks like they're avoiding the problem rather than dealing with it. If you've got hordes of people who are going to have as in Amsterdam, what they called a Jew hunt, if they're going to have that repeated in the UK, then we should be facing up to it and not just swerving the problem. In Amsterdam, there was a WhatsApp group with 900 people on it who planned what they called a Jew hunt against the cancer Jews, and they were giving live updates of where Maccabi fans were in Amsterdam and hunting them down. They're trying to portray it as if this was Maccabi fans somehow being violent. And yes, they were singing some slightly unsavory songs, but in Hebrew, I'm not entirely convinced anyone understood them. And it's just an excuse to try and demonize Israelis and demonize Jews.
Andrew Fox, thank you very much for joining us today. And what I think is a dark day, not only for sport, but for Britain altogether. Andrew Fox, the president of Aston Villa Jewish Villains. Thanks for your company.